All right, welcome back to Blackacre Ranch, everyone. We had a little bit of an emergency here. Let's go inside and show you what our problem is and why it's a big concern. All right, guys, here in the well house, you can see already the issue that's going to be plaguing us. We've got a leak. It's not from this guy, although he keeps running. The worst case scenario, it's from this guy. So what we've got here is a leak down below. Let's see if we can show this to you. You can see it may be leaking right there. So this obviously is not the ideal situation. This is definitely not what I want to be doing right now. I'm not super thrilled, but I will say that naturally this is the time I start kind of second guessing myself, like, gosh, should we never put this tank inside? But we would have had the same problem, all right? I mean, it would have been the same issue. Obviously, we don't want to have water no matter where we're at, and we'd have to take it apart and do all sorts of stuff anyway. So I think, I'm hoping, this is going to be an easy fix. I think the solution, well, we're going to drain all the water out of this tank. I think behind the valve, cut it and see if I can seat that coupling in better, then reattach everything. Always sounds easier said than done, but first step is we need to close off some valves, turn off some pumps, and start draining some water out. Here we go, outside outlet. Off, well. Here we go. Oh, there you go, it's off. Yep, now it's off. All right, just took a little bit, went off. Now we gotta turn this pump off so we can shut valves. And turn off. Valve number one. Not that it makes much difference. We have a one-way valve here. That's closed, and we can close this one if we really want. All right, trash pump time. Our old friend from the lake days before we got a well. All right, so let's see if this guy will even start. Be our saving grace. And we're gonna get this hose. Oh man, I don't know if it's long enough. We're gonna see how this works. Yeah, let's just get this thing moved and some hose. Let's see where we go. All right, we're gonna need the green hose.
Yep, grab the green.
And was it the small guy? Which guy was it that you usually attached?
Well, the small one usually attaches there,
Okay.
but they should all be hooked up that we could
Let's
pick
get
a
at least the
different
small guy.
one. Nope. Probably. I'll grab the bottom.
There you go. We hope with this much hose, we're able to actually get it out to the pasture. And a secret weapon, a rubber flap. All right, let's see what we got, what we can do. Set up now. Green is going to be the suction intake. We've got this hose, I think it's 20 feet long, but I think this was like 10 feet or more high. So we put it up on the counter, and I'm hoping that's going to let it go through. Dog, can you take that up and drop it in? Yep. Yeah, Punk can help him feed it. We're going to get that on top. We're going to drop that all the way down to the bottom as much as you can, Dog.
It's on?
Keep going.
I need more fuel.
All right.
Why me? I gotta start this thing.
Have any more fuel? Put it there. Okay, guys, right now we've got this blue hose that wraps around the building. Let's go over and take a look at it. And it only goes so far. So if we're gonna get to the point where we're losing water and we're gonna have to find something to do with it, well, we might as well get it to a point where we can use it in the pasture instead of just draining it onto the asphalt. So it comes right to here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna hook up this other guy, be able to extend out again and drag it out into the pasture. And while my wife's doing that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this as kind of like a shield, a French drain style without the French, just more of agricultural drain. We're gonna just put it on the ground and the water is gonna hit it and spread out. That way we don't just dig a hole in this sand pit out here. So, all right, this shouldn't be too bad at all. All right, now we just got to unravel this thing. Won't be too bad. Like I said, this will be where the water hits first. We'll get that dropped off over near where Dog's at, and then we get this thing pumping and start draining this 3,000 gallons. Hopefully this water is of use. Hopefully the grass grows. Now the beauty of having this hose is that periodically they can shift and move and swivel around and try and share the wealth. Obviously, this isn't going to be a perfect irrigation system, but it's being positive with the water. It's using it for a good purpose. All right, Dog? You smell real good in here with that exhaust, I'll tell you. Okay, I can see it, so it's close enough right at the lip.
Okay. Hold on. Yeah, that's fine if you're spraying it. Just, I don't want it to be wearing one spot. It's gonna be a lot of stuff coming. So if you decide to lay it down, you can. Yeah, like that. It's fine, Lorna. Put it down. Yeah.
Cool.
If you ever want to pick it up and fire hose it, you can. Okay. Oh, the water's going fast. There it is right there. Good.
No.
Just don't want this to start wearing it away.
Yeah. Water can wear it away.
Yeah, so maybe fire hose it some more. That's coming.
Trying to keep it in the grass where it hits. All right, we had one little hiccup. We're about halfway down the tank actually right now. Had to restart it. Mari's back up there, and she's trying to make sure that green thing stays down because it has that little bit of a coil in it. Anyway, we realized we're not going to be able to get all the water out with this method. Although we're halfway through, it took like 5 minutes, man. I mean, this sucker's pumping 150 gallons a minute. I mean, this sucker's moving. All right, so the green hose in the tank is on the bottom. So whatever that amount of water is on the 3,000 gallon tank, that's what's left. So this is just draining out now. We have actually gotten quite a bit of this water over here, water, and just we've been moving around this black thing everywhere. So we'll find out in a couple of days maybe what 3,000 gallons of water does for grass. But yeah, it's better than doing nothing with it. So we're gonna let this kind of drain. The whole hose is just gonna drain out, and we're gonna get that last little bit, and I'm not sure exactly how we're gonna do that. So we may just end up having to take it off and let the water come out. We're gonna leave the wife and kids rolling that up. It's actually probably not the funnest job in the world. All right, back in here, little bug is gonna help me out. And we're gonna see what we can do with this down here. We're gonna get everything set up and get a bunch of pipe over there. All right, so I've been thinking about this for a little while, and I think there's an easy way and there's a hard way or a preferred way, right? So easy thing would be to do, since it's leaking in the threads, if I just cut this off and see if I can tighten it, or worst case, unthread it all, reseal it, and put it all back in and get really in there further, because I've probably got about that much thread still hanging out. Then just put it together, band-aid it, and go forward, and it's probably fine. However, some other leak may happen, or there may be a reason we have to drain this thing in the future. Ideally, I would love to put one of these little fittings here so I don't have to cut anymore, and also put the 2-inch further out and a connector for the trash pump that we just used, so that way in the future all I have to do is just hook the hose up and I could suck it right out. So we'll see what I end up doing, but I'm going to shoot for the easy way right now and see if I can get this done. And unfortunately there's not much we can do about it, so we're just going to let it go. It's only like half the tube, so. I'd say luckily this floor and the walls are not sealed super tight to the concrete. So even though it looks like it's a big mess, it does drain out the sides and go away. Hey, while we're letting this drain, I will say, I thought about cutting it here and then seeing if we could rotate, I think just with a valve. It wasn't going to get enough distance to the concrete and it wouldn't have worked. That's why I decided to cut it up here. Otherwise, I would love to have just left the valve, and then I could have just kept the whole tank full and done my work, you know, in theory in the future, right? But we still needed to do something about this back here. You try and give some thought to everything that you're going to encounter in the future. You try and place your valves right, allow access. Sometimes you just get it done, so we'll make changes as we go. All right, while this drains, I want to come over here and check out what tools or what resources I've got. All right, here's my 2s. So I have another threaded if I need it. I do have a 2-inch sleeve. I'm going to need that. What I want is a 2-inch coupling. And I don't think I have a 2-inch coupling. Yeah, so hold it. That is what I'm looking for in 2-inch. All right, I think we need to run to the store and go grab that. Because what my fear is that when I hook this up, I think I can tighten this. And if I can tighten it and it doesn't work, then I'm really hosed. I'm gonna go see if we can find a coupling for that and then be back while this drains. All right, back from the store. So I went and got one of those fittings. This is one of those threaded couplings. You know, I don't even know what you really call this anyway. It allows me to detach them and I can separate them. I don't have to keep cutting it. So that's all good, fine and dandy. I'm gonna stick that down there if I can get this other thing on. And I also picked up myself a T. So in the future, when I want to shorten this later on, I can then just butt this guy up and then maybe put a fitting here to go up to the trash pump. So just an idea, maybe, you know, a valve and then that, you know, whatever it is, but yeah, so maybe later. I was testing this a little bit, and I think this is actually pretty loose. I could almost do that with my arm. I think in the heat in here, it gets kind of hot in here actually. It just kind of, over time, it kind of loosens up, things get a little bit more malleable, flexible, and I think that's hopefully all the problem is. So I'm gonna try tightening it. I really won't know if it's gonna hold or not, but at least if I put that coupling on, this sucker, I'll be able to fix it downstream. So that's my hope. So we'll do a temporary fix and see what we got. Well, I hope it's not temporary. It's definitely getting tighter. It's one of those days, one of those days. There we go. I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit. I'm gonna screw it on then. And then the other thing I noticed is we've got a little bit of a, you know, obviously a little bit of a height difference. So before I think it was kind of bending it down, we're gonna get some things and shim it under. Let's see if this is simple enough. It gets me right out there, actually. Let's go get this pump turned on and see what happens. All right, here we go. It's another day. Do the latch, drop it down, open her up, turn her on.
There it is.
It's on, dog, it's on. There she goes. All right, we're gonna monitor this a little bit over time, let you know if it leaks. If not, then I think this fix is fixed for now until we doctor up everything else, and of course, make it a little bit better. So let's give this a time to fill up a little bit. I don't know how long it's gonna take. This might be 14 gallons a minute pump, maybe 20. So you do the math real quick. It's a 3,000 gallon tank. I think we'll be able to start seeing stuff once the pressure gets high enough. You know, 2,000 gallons, it'll have enough water pressure that it might start being able to push it out. So anyway, we'll be back in a moment.
Hey, piggies.
So we've been a little while, so I guess it's not gonna fill up very fast. That's what 15 gallons a minute does. So, all right, well, we're gonna let this go. I don't see any more water that's been dripping, and you can kind of tell that the water that's up here is slowly going away and sloping down and it's draining out. So that's all good news. I don't think we have any more leaks. Now it's time to get this pump back on so the buffalo can get some water, actually. Let's make sure these valves are open. Anyway, let's go check the buffalo, make sure they got some water in their actual troughs, and we'll call it a wraps. Obviously, you can't even get in here to check the water without the animals coming over to you. So I was going to drive out in the pasture somewhere and go find them, and yeah, that didn't make a difference, right? So Bartok wants to come say hi, and so does Rose. But they're doing good, guys. We have adjusted their feed down a little bit. Just part of all that stuff that we're checking on. We're just seeing how well they do. Water trough is filling up. But here's our calves. They're turning. They're no longer golden. They're turning brown. That's always nice. It's nice to have them grow up. It just means they eat more. Isn't that right, Ahmed? You're a big boy, dude. Yeah, do your job. Do your job. Sorry guys, I'm not gonna get out. It's hot. It's been a long day, and dealing with all that water and everything else. So that place is really warm. We got to put some whirly birds or something up top on the roof, but maybe in the winter. But I'm not doing that now. But anyway, babies are looking good, and so's the whole herd. We're gonna keep watching for a little bit. Thanks for joining along and watching us do another unplanned activity of fixing a leak and a problem. So anyway, catch you next time in the videos. Thanks, bye.